I think she meant that one side of my face swelled up. Like a gobstopper, it was. But what is a mump? Or what are the mumps? I mean, it's a viral infection, isn't it? I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want her to be right. Like
a number of mumps or one big mump.
What if you had one big
mump? Like a hunchback for a while? You're just like, you're mump-backed for a while and just walk around.
You mump-back.
Yeah, and you don't remember, because it's always when you're very young.
You're mump-back, but yeah, exactly. But apparently I had one mump. So I could probably one of them, just one of them went a bit sterile.
So you can become sterile if you have the mumps when you're an adult?
Apparently, yeah.
Can you, I mean, does that, for instance, it doesn't cause, say for instance, an adult had the mumps, right, and then he sort of had sex and he gave birth to a child, his wife gave birth to a child.
Yeah.
That can't cause any other problems. It can't cause deformity or anything. It's just, because it's just my dad had the mumps.
I don't know. We should get our facts right, really. If there's a doctor out there, I mean, can mumps cause sterility? How does it do it? I have stories about, my teacher, his mate, had to have them, they swelled up, and he had to put them in cotton wool for about a month.
God almighty.
Because it can, mumps aren't fun.
No, well, I can say, maybe you've had mumps and now you're sterile.
That could be mumps aren't fun.
Yeah.
That's like go to work on an egg. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Who said that? I was having an argument with someone about who said, go to work on an egg. Someone said it was that William G. Stewart bloke who...
No, it was
Faye Weldon.
No, it was Salman Rushdie. It was.
No, it wasn't.
No, hang on. No, maybe it wasn't.
It was Faye Weldon.
It wasn't Faye Weldon.
Right.
It was either, right, let me tell you what it was.
Okay.
It was either that bloke that wrote, A Year in Provence, or whatever it was called.
Right. 0171 580 2000. Who came up with the slogan, go to work on an egg?
It was either the Year in Provence fella.
Who's that?
I mean, what his name was, I don't know.
0171 580 2000. Who was the Year in Provence
You know that fella who wrote that book, Year in Provence? Everyone read it. Everyone thought it was great.
No,
his name's Peter or something or other.
Right, okay.
And I think he definitely wrote that.
Salman Rushdie came up with something.
I think it was the year. See, again, I'm thinking that maybe it was the egg thing. But I would say as well that fella that wrote Year in Provence, he also came up with the, the Fat Willy cartoon series. What a hilarious series of books they are.
Not Fat Willy, is it? The one, Where's Willy?
That's Where's Wally?
Where's Wally?
Where's Willy? That'd be pretty straightforward every time, wouldn't it? Well, there's a fella there. There it is.
Not where you come from, it wouldn't.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Well, Peter Mayle is the name of the bloke who wrote Year in Provence. Thanks to Neil. And also, Neil says that Salman Rushdie did Naughty But Nice for the cake commercial. Now, I still don't know who did go to work on an egg. I think it was Faye Weldon.
No, it was Peter Mayle.
Do you reckon it was?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm gutted.
Yeah.
And you very rarely, Jerry from Balham, you very rarely go sterile from mumps, but it is a viral infection, yeah.
It's such an informative
This programme, exactly, Steve.
Yeah. It's like a public service.
It really is, isn't it? And we treat things sort of sensibly and maturely, and we give out, the correct information.
I'll be honest with it.
It's safe for kids to listen to, isn't it?
Well, imagine if you were in the, I mean, this happens to us all the time, you're in the pub and someone will say, well, is mumps a problem? Is it going to cause infertility? And you're there just saying,
Gervais.
And...
It's very rare. It is a viral infection. Exactly. And do you know who did go to work on an egg? They went, no. Peter Mayle or Faye Weldon, we're not sure.
Possibly Salman Rushdie.
No, definitely wasn't Salman Rushdie.
That's quite incredible, though, to go from writing Naughty But Nice about cakes
to live in a hole for the rest of your life. Yeah. I used to write when I was at school.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I didn't watch sort of kids' programmes when I was growing up. I watched sort of crap adult ones. ITV on the telly from 12 midday through to like midnight, and I'd watch all the police series, Police Story, Charlie's Angels, Steve Austin, and
Teen Knight Rider,
yeah. And I wrote this essay at school, and I just couldn't stop, and I started serialising it. And every time I just kept writing, I was sort of like, people were reading it at school, and it was about a New York cop who was as hard as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I worked out what his name was. Now, television influences me, because it was one word name, which is his surname. That was the title of the book, title of the series, and that's what all his friends called him. Right. It was called Jezuk.
Jezuk?
Yeah.
Jezuk.
Yeah, I thought it had a Z and a J. Jezuk.
Jezuk.
Yeah.
It does sound so close to, like, Pillock or Jesse.
Yeah.
Or Nonce.
No, nonce. There's no nonce.
Well, do you know what I mean?
Cross between sort of
Jezuk.
like Pillock and Jism.
Damn you, Jezuk.
Yeah,
You're off the case.
Give me the badge. Keep the stinking badge. I don't need a badge to be a cop. It was all stuff like that. And he'd burst, yeah. And so he'd look at his gun and go, this is my law.
Oh my God, it's Jezuk. How did he find us?
Jezuk. Yeah, it was great. There'd be shootouts and everything. Oh, fantastic.
Let me just ask, did he have perhaps have a broken marriage? He was hard-boiled. He played by his own rules. Didn't he?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Simultaneous with this.
He was a bit of a drunkard?
Didn't drink, no. He was a good-looking fella.
But he was letting himself go. He was a bit hard-bitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was sort of simultaneous, which was more of a novel. I wasn't serious. I was actually writing a novel, and I got like 3 exercise books, right? It was about this kid, right? Oh, God. Right? He saw his parents just brutally murdered for no reason by a gang of outlaws, yeah? And he buried his father, and he knelt down on the grave, and he said, looked up, and he goes, as God is my witness, I will avenge thee. And then he sort of went to the store, and he got loads of bullets, and he practiced, and he was the fastest gun. He was only about 16.
Yeah.
Right? His name was Jody Barnes.
Jody Barnes is all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Have you still got any of those exercise books?
I hope not.
That would be
the
incredible.
teachers used to sort of like, I imagine going, yeah, it's good. I imagine them passing around the, he's done another one. Gervais has written another episode of Jezuk. Yeah.
But I say, seriously, if you brought one of those in and read it out, I'd be entranced. Great. Do you think
The
your mum
ramblings
might...
of a twisted 14-year-old brain that only ever watched ITV cop shows.
Do you think your mum might still have some copies of Jezuk?
No.
Was it like sort of, the initial one was like Jezuk, then it was like Jezuk abroad, Jezuk in Paris, Jezuk on safari.
Yeah.
Here comes Jezuk.
My mum...
Return of Jezuk.
I liked that Jezuk. He's a proper man.
Yeah.
It's not like you. But Mum, I invented Jezuk. You're a Nazi. You couldn't be like Jezuk. He's in my mind.
Return of Jezuk. Here comes Jezuk, son of Jezuk.
Oh, it's fantastic. What if Jezuk met Jodie Barnes? They'd get on. They'd have no quarrels.
They could team up.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. After the break, a little bit of Lars.
Team Jezuk. Still here then. Gervais, you've embarrassed yourself.
Oh, just shut your ugly gob, you bug-eyed anemic fish.
Nice to have you back.
4:05 on a Sunday, Ricky Gervais, XFM 104.9, London's only alternative. Steve.
Yeah.
You know we gave away those CDs. Hey, great giveaways. Just good radio, isn't it? We've got CDs to give away. Tickets and that's good radio. Do you remember who won them?
What, last week?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Right. I've got to get them back.
What, are these the CDs that we took from the library?
Yeah.
Anyway?
I've got to get them back. 0171 580 2000. If you won those CDs, could you give us a call?
Well, why should they bother? They're probably busy listening to them. Do you know what I mean? You can't give something away and then take it back.
Yeah, I need big time. I've got to get them back.
We've had a bill for the computer as well.
That's mine.
No, it's not yours.
It is mine.
It's not yours.
I procured that. That is mine now.
No,
that technically counts as ownership.
Gervais, it's not yours, all right? I've told you this before. I've explained this to you 100 times.
What?
All right? If you urinate on something,
yeah,
it is not yours.
It does in the cat world. That's what cats do. That is what cats do. They go around their territory. That's theirs. They urinate on it. That computer's mine.
If a cat urinates on something, right? Yeah, in its cat philosophy, it owns that. I agree. That's a sort of what's it call it? A sort of territory thing.
What's the difference?
You're not a cat.
No, I know.
You're not a cat.
That's discrimination.
No, you're not a cat. You can't live life by cat rules.
Well, I've got loads of stuff like that. My flat's full of stuff that I've got like that.
What?
Yeah, I've got 2 telephone boxes.
Right.
I've got a cash point machine. Yeah. Glyn was furious. He was getting out money.
Right.
Side of a church.
That's yours.
Yeah. 2 BMWs. Well, I had 2. I've got 1 now.
What happened?
The second one, the owner caught me, and he started doing the same. And because I started first, I finished first, so he finished last again.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
If I piss on something, then that's mine.
Yeah.
But if someone else pisses on it, then that's theirs.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Could you say urinate? This is XFM 104.9. They are mine
They're
now.
not yours.
They are.
They're not. They're my shoes.
Yeah, and they're mine now.
No, they're not. I can't believe. This is why I don't want to do this anymore.
Why?
I can't believe you.
They're my shoes now. That is ownership. That counts.
In the cat world.
They're my shoes now, and some of the carpet is mine as well.
In the cat world.
Yeah. Wow.
You cannot live your life by the rules of the cat world.
I can.
What does your girlfriend?
What's this?
Oh,
not many people can do that. XFM 4.9 quarter past.
How do these sort of little theories of yours develop?
What? They come in my head. Then they're all right. Then I like them and they happen.
Right.
Then they're mine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do other people make of the fact?
They go along with it.
What, your girlfriend?
Yeah. And all my special friends and the friends that I make.
Does she looks like an East End lockup and stinks of urine?
No.
She don't have a problem with that?
No. The sinuses are gone now. Completely gone.
Her sinuses are gone?
Yeah.
The Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought as much. Well, I know what you rock and rollers get up to, Gervais, in your spare time.
Oh, dear.
It's beautiful to see you again, though, because we thought you would...
I'm looking good.
We thought you'd be gone forever.
Why?
But you're back.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see you.
No, I'll be around for
anything planned?
I didn't expect... It's like my life. I didn't expect to be here this long, so anything is a bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Any plans for today's show?
Got some more records than that, and some absolute drivel.
Right.
Yeah, packed into 2 hours.
So no different.
No. No.
Great. Well, it's going well. Going well. I've got a little competition.
Yeah.
Which I'll maybe introduce after the next record.
Is there anyone mad enough to sleep with me competition? Because is there? Is it? I'm not doing that one again.
All right. I've got a different one.
Yeah.
I've got a different competition.
Keep calling the Samaritans that sort of thing, sir. Please. Or else. Can't threaten the Samaritans.
Why do you like that song so much?
Because they're singing about you being an ugly tosser, all right? Just gone 20 past 4.
Gervais, I hate to kick people when they're down.
No, you don't. You like it. And you like people twitching when they've been badly hurt.
But I don't know how this came about, but I started to consider the songs of Carter, the Unstoppable Sex Machine. I don't know why. Someone was playing one in my house, and we were flipping through the record, the lyric sheets.
Fruit bat.
Now I don't know when I was when I was in the sixth form, when I was in the sixth form, Gervais, everybody had a Carter USM T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I imagine you probably...
By the end of the 80s, early 90s, all events officers, A&R men, yeah.
What were you doing about that time? You'd have been that was when you were claiming benefit while still working?
Yeah. You
had the wheelchair and everything?
Yeah, the tartan blanket.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Everybody had a Carter USM T-shirt. I didn't have one, because it was all a bit cliquey, and they didn't like me for it.
Yeah, it wasn't because of that, though, was it? It was because they sort of had, like, symmetrical heads. They were running in their human packs, weren't they? And just ostracising you. Go, oh dear.
Those start.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just looking through the lyric sheet. This is from the album 1992, the Love album, right, by Carter.
Yeah.
Just give you a taste of some of the lyrics.
Yeah, go on.
Which we thought were so profound in 1990 or whatever.
I never did.
This is from the track "Look, Mum, No Hands." I should point out that many of the titles of their songs are appalling. There's obviously my favourite, possibly the worst, is "The Road to Domestos." That is the worst name for song I've ever heard. I mean, what's that supposed to mean?
Anyway, that's great.
Check this lyric out. This is one of the worst lyrics.
Go on, I'm ready. Go on.
He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young man in the blue dungarees. What the hell does that mean?
Oh,
is that supposed to be profound?
She flies like a bird in the sky high. That ugly old tart with a sty in her eye.
This is quite a nice one. Listen to this. Is clever. This is bloody clever.
Go on. What they done? What's Fruit Bat done here?
If we club together, with all the diamonds.
Hey, hold on. I'll stop you there. Club.
Go on.
Diamond. That's so far. Oh no! Wait.
Stop there.
Oh come on. Go on.
If we club together with all the diamonds we've saved, we could look to our hearts and say...
Hold on, hearts is a suit in the... That's incredible. Oh, go on. Clubs, diamonds, hearts.
We could look to all our hearts and say, we've got it in spades.
What does that mean?
Spades.
Hold on. What does that sentence mean?
if we club together with all the diamonds we've saved,
Yeah.
we can look to our hearts and say we've got it in spades.
I don't know what that
I
means.
have no idea, but that's the kind of brilliance.
But they see what they did there. They got all those
It's
things
incredible. Let me just. There's a good great one here.
Could they do it with signs of the zodiac? Parts of the body.
Here we are. BH'd and ABH'd for a packet of B and H. I've been taken and I've been driven away. My telephone is always ringing and my number is XXX directory. Call 0898 333 talk dirty to me. That is some of the worst lyrics, Gervais, surely, that you've ever heard.
Unless you know different. 0171 580 2000. I've been thinking some of my own as well.
The worst lyrics you've ever come across.
Oh, there's going to be arguments.
0171 580 2000. Or you can fax us 0171 580 1234.
And think realistically, because I hate it when you see in like the Melody Maker Enemy and they ask one of these pop stars, what's the worst song of all time? And they go, the Birdie song. Or, no, it's not. It's something by Carter or Suede or David Bowie, because they're in that framework. They're potentially, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't go for Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep. Go for something like that, because that is disgusting.
Let me just say this is my final one before we go away, which is, yes, sorry, boy, there's nothing worth dying for, so just say 3 Hail Jesus and Mary chains.
Early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table. Make sure that your coffee has a sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy. It's sort of like a breakfast song. I can't remember it, but it goes, I'm not your superwoman. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah.
It's just, I've never heard this.
There's one great bit as well. He goes, now you say your juice is sour. It used to be so sweet. And I can't help but wondering if you're talking about me. Isn't that great?
Oh.
Sorry, look, this juice is a bit sour. It used to be so sweet. Oh, fine, I'll change it. No, let me explain. This juice, yeah, it's sour. It used to be sweet. Well, it's what we've always had. No, you're not listening. You're not listening. I think you're an ugly pig. I want to leave you. He didn't state it. Your eggs are over easy. Oh, who's that by?
No, I never heard it. You've made it up.
I'm not your superwoman. 0171 580 2000. I just thought of another one as well. So, do you know the John Waite? I ain't missing you at all. Missing you since you've been gone away. And he's worried about people that think that he's really not missing her. So, towards the end, he goes, I can lie to myself. Oh, he was lying all along then, wasn't he? Oh, got any more Carter lyrics?
Well, I'm still wading through them, Gervais, and it's just making me quite low. So I'll try and dig out a few more for the next time we have a chat. But I would say that Emma, of course, who helps us out here, she's mentioned track. What was it, Emma? What was yours?
It was
YMCA.
YMCA.
I've got a worse one.
Have you? Oh, hold on. Oh, what's that other one?
That's worse.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, Emma, we'll save that one. Emma's was, you can get yourself clean, you can have a good meal.
You can get yourself clean, you have a good meal. Well, I don't have a problem with it, you see, because I just think it's a wonderful day. It doesn't get enough publicity, good press.
Yeah.
And the Village People did them a favour. I mean, why on earth they wrote that song?
Well,
you know,
what,
to
are you serious?
publicise the YMCA. I mean, who thinks, I don't know, people have done the police force, you know, they've done...
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, this is very good. But I think you mean this. So you don't know what that song was. You think that they were actually some sort of advertising for the YMCA, were you?
Well, I don't know. It just seems really odd to me.
Well, if I remember at the time, the YMCA complained at the time because the connotations.
It's just a PR thing for the YMCA, I imagine. It's like that one that in the Navy. In the Navy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Another sort of PR thing for the Navy. It's just bizarre.
When they were dressed up as sailors and stuff.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Whereas usually they sort of like construction worker with a nice moustache, aren't they?
Yeah.
Traffic cop.
Yeah.
Jobbers. And,
what? I don't... It's just...
I'm worried about the Red Indian chief.
Am I supposed to be...
I know when that's been
am I supposed to be reading between the lines or something? I don't understand. I mean, I don't really understand. I mean this seriously.
Okay,
I don't
right.
understand what you're talking about.
Obviously, there were gay connotations. It's like a gay icon record, isn't it? YMCA in the Navy. That was the point of it. What did you need? One of them dressed as Judy Garland. What? I don't understand. What was your problem with that?
What? But there's no... I don't understand why that suggests that people are gay. I don't.
It doesn't necessarily. It's like, it's high camp, isn't it? It's been
But
adopted since as well.
But the four of them, there's a guy dressed as a motorcycle cop. There's no reason why that he should be gay.
There's no reason why anyone should be gay.
There's a
They've chosen...
There's a builder.
Yeah.
Right.
So no builders are gay, ever.
There's
You can't
another,
be
there's
gay
another
and
one. I can't remember what the other one is.
Right.
And then there's a Red Indian. Why on earth the Red Indian is supposed to be an icon?
I don't know
of
about that.
homosexuality? I have no idea.
I'm flummoxed on that one, I'll be honest.
But so what I'm saying to you, Gervais, is if you're going to if you can talk about gay people, then why don't they use the cliches? Why isn't there a hairdresser?
Right.
And
Because it's probably the sort of cliches that even scene gays want to get away from. Also, you're confusing camp, ITV gay, or homosexual people who live normal lives.
if I'm going to write a song about gay people, I'm going to have a hairdresser.
Yeah, you are.
In order to, all I'm
You
saying
are.
is, in order to appeal to a gay community, I'd have a hairdresser, John Inman, Larry Grayson,
Obviously.
and I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't have Jason Donovan then, obviously. Because he's not. So you wouldn't have him, would you?
No, I wouldn't have Jason Donovan.
No.
Well, I wouldn't have Philip Schofield.
Well, no,
I
there's
wouldn't
no
even have.
reason to.
I wouldn't have Andy Peters.
Right.
I wouldn't have Andy Peters.
Okay, I'm getting scared.
Shut up! I would not have Andy
I'm
Peters.
getting scared.
I would not have
Shut
Andy
up.
Peters. A few more Carter lyrics for you.
Go on.
You'll enjoy this one. It's just one big knees up, a night on the town, a storm in a teacup, more like a teacup in a storm.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, man?
Yeah.
It's more like a teacup in a storm.
Yeah, they've twisted it,
All
haven't
right.
they? Yeah. Ian Camfield, you know, he's 12 now. He
Right.
does the rock show.
Oh.
He called, and that I'm not your super, Karen White. And he
Never
also
heard
says a worse lyric in YMCA is, young man, there's no need to feel down.
Fair enough. Another Carter lyric for you. The tequila sun is rising, and listen to me. The tequila sun is rising, and the Harvey's Bristol moon is shining. Because they've got Harvey's, shine on Harvey's moon,
Yeah.
and somehow Harvey's Bristol moon is shining. I have no idea.
It's got to be something about pulling your trousers down in a coach.
It's just
Isn't it?
rubbish.
And
So,
also, you know,
worse
this one,
lyrics.
you know, Quick Space, I played that and you said, oh, why is that your favourite? And I got annoyed because you've got no taste and shouldn't even question me. And I said it was about you being an ugly tosser. Well, Nina, from the band,
Oh, right.
who's round at Jan's, said, no, it's not about him being ugly. And the worst lyric is from the Beatles, you should see her in drag in a polythene bag. What's that from then?
I don't know,
should
Polythene Pam or whatever it's called.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could well.
Lyrics, we'll have those as well.
There's a lot of them to
there's
choose from.
There are a
They're
lot.
good. No, I'm not dissing the Beatles.
No.
I'm just saying they wrote, they can't keep up that level, can they?
Gervais, I've heard the songs you've written. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
You're not in a position to disrespect anybody.
No, I
all right?
don't.
I'm talking about people on the tube, all right, that can barely speak, all right, that just go with like a kazoo. There's a guy near my tube, he just got a kazoo, and he just taps his foot, and then tries to sell lighters to you by playing a kazoo. Right? You can't even disrespect him for his musical ability.
Of course, you're laughing about him now. If that was female, it'd be a whole different story, wouldn't it?
Well, you've got to take it where you can get it.
You'd have a lot of lighters every day, wouldn't
Hey!
you? You'd be struggling down that road
I'd
with
say-
loads of little, they're
I'd
called
say-
clippers.
I'd say, I think there's a sad lack of kazoos on the wireless, and I'd have her in here for a quick session.
Well, we better do a competition now.
Okay, yeah, well, we've got these two pairs of pulp tickets? Or
So
just-
you've
just
no
a
idea,
set?
have you?
I've no idea.
You just want to, can I do this bit? Well, you don't know what you're doing, do you? It's never stopped me, no.
Well,
Exactly.
I wasn't going to mention it.
No.
All right, you do it. Go on then. I'll sit over here. I'm out the way.
Okay, how many tickets have we got, Emma?
One pair.
One pair. That's two to you, Steve. To give away.
see who,
Pulp.
when,
Next Saturday,
where,
Finsbury Park.
at what time,
About 9.
and what have people got to do to win the tickets?
Uh,
Yeah, now you're stumped.
what? You suggesting I should plan this show?
Yes.
Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
Why?
All right, now listen, I think we should just give people an added reason to phone in with their worst lyrics ever. They
Yeah.
can win this pair of pulp tickets.
Yeah.
And then if we get bored with that in, say, about 10 minutes' time, we'll come up with another reason.
If it'd take 10 minutes for us to get bored. I'll be surprised if we actually bother.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got an ad break and then at least I've got a Pulp song lined up.
Before you do that,
Oh, we should tell them what the competition is, shouldn't we? I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I really do turn off when you talk.
Emma, what was the competition?
I'm not sure. I wasn't listening.
01715802000. Any ideas what the competition was?
What was the competition?
Yeah.
Pete Yawn for Nancy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Pilkington. Steve, you got any other toilet-related anecdotes?
Rick, my life is just full of toilet trauma.
Yeah.
And Carl, you may not realise this, but a while back I used to host, this is bizarre, I used to host a radio show on the BBC World Service, right? Now, if you want someone who's the voice of integrity, the voice of intelligence, the voice of a nation, you're going to come to me. That's obvious. And I was broadcasting to, now they've got listeners of something like 50, 60 million people around the world. It's mental, the listenership of the World Service. And I used to host this show with someone
It's a big
else.
place, Steve.
The World?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And anyway, so I had to be into 10 o'clock every Friday morning to broadcast around the world to 50 million people, right? And one week, I went to the toilet in my house, right? Everyone had left. I got there a bit late. I got up a bit late. Already against me. The clock was already against me. Had to be there at 10 o'clock, broadcast around the world. And we got two toilets in our house, downstairs one, right? And the door had already been a bit dodgy. It was one of those doors where you had to give it a bit of a kick as you went in. It was getting a bit tight. I don't know what the wood was expanding or something. You know, I'm in there. And same thing again happens. No toilet paper. I think, oh, God, I'm going to have to somehow kind of make it upstairs.
Why don't you check first?
I normally do, Rick. I normally do. It's just on certain occasions when I'm bleary-eyed or something, I forget. Or occasionally I forget. Normally I do check.
Right.
And you've got to bear in mind that it's not like this is happening every week. This is over the course of many years that
Sure.
these incidents have accumulated. So
You've condensed them.
for the
two
purposes of
incidents.
this anecdote.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. And great. You're just brilliant to keeping the pace up of an anecdote there, Rick. You've just drawn in. I don't know where I am now. Anyway, I know where I am. I'm trapped in a toilet with no toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's where I am. And I'm thinking maybe I peel off some of the wallpaper, things like that. But well, exactly. But I'm gonna have to go upstairs and find
Toilet paper, was there any?
There wasn't.
There
sadly.
wasn't? Oh.
I'm gonna have to go upstairs and maybe find a notepad or something like that. And so I try the door. Right, the door's wedged. And I'm pulling on the door, and I can't get the door open. It's just like it won't come open, and it's already. And I knew it was going to come to this at some point. Like this is like the clock's ticking. I'm trying to pull the door open. Trousers around my ankles again, and I'm thinking, well, what I could do is I could open the window, I suppose, and like try and climb out, but not really because I got the trousers around the ankles. And that's
Or if it was raining, just stick your ass out, two birds with one stone.
Sadly, it was a beautiful day, Rick.
I call it the World Bee Day.
And so what I'm thinking is, I got my mobile phone in there, luckily, because it's in my pocket. I'm thinking, well, maybe I could phone. I was seriously thinking,
Kleenex.
maybe I'll phone the fire brigade.
By this point, I mean, it just dried.
No, it hadn't. It was.
Hold on, was that little puppy not around? Because sometimes you can call that, it's got a little bit wrapped round it.
Listen.
Or
This is
just
a
use the
serious
puppy
issue.
itself.
There's 50 million people around the world going to need to hear my voice in like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And-
Where's Steve? He's not locked in a... Oh, no.
So I'm thinking about phoning the fire brigade, and I'm thinking,
Sure.
like, if I do that, it's gonna be the first call that goes straight on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
For like the entire fire brigade service.
With a
everywhere.
butch hero carrying you down over his shoulders with your trousers around your ankles. Can I
Exactly.
just not pull him up? No, you've got to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. But I imagine the idea of phoning up and going, hello there, I'm trapped in a room in my house. Oh yeah, which one is it? Oh, I
It's
don't
quite
need
small.
to know.
It's quite small. Is it?
Yeah. It's not the toilet, is it? Because we don't want to come and rescue someone who's trapped in the toilet.
Which
No.
service do you require? Paper?
So I think I can't find the fire brigade. The clock's ticking. So then I think one of my housemates is still in the house, but still asleep. So I phone the house number. Right, phone rings and rings and rings for ages, and eventually he answers the phone. Right, gets out of bed, answers the phone. Yeah, hi, it's Steve. All right, what's wrong? I'm
What are you doing?
downstairs.
What are you doing? All right, yeah. Oh, I didn't wait. I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, just in the
I'm
toilet.
just downstairs in the toilet.
Oh, yeah, what are you doing? Oh, well, I've finished what I'm... Have you... Paper?
Any bog roll.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of scrape together a few bits of paper, and sort of tinfoil or whatever he could find in the house.
A cactus.
Come down
Oh, no.
Pass it underneath the door, right? And then I said, "Can you move away from the door because I don't want you to hear me as I'm, wiping the." And so
You
he
didn't
did
say that?
Yeah, well, I didn't want him to. That's embarrassing.
Sorry,
That's embarrassing.
What were you wiping it with? Not tumbleweed. What do you mean? What
No, but
noise?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Right.
So then I say, right, can you smash?
Why
this-
was he hovering? Why didn't he want to walk away? Will you keep your... What was it? Outside with a glass to his ear?
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a window in the door, but it was frosted glass. You could just see my semi-naked body moving around, and So eventually I said to him, look, listen, I'm going to need you to sort of kick the door in. He said, well, I don't want to kick the door in because you're going to have to pay for it, aren't we? I go, yeah, but I got to go to the World Service. Well, yeah. And he was a lovely man. He's the weakest man you've ever come across. It's like if there's one person you don't want to have to throw their body weight against the door, it was him. It's like, so he's smashing against
This
the door.
sounds like a fetish to me, though. He went in there, and there you were naked with lots of toilet paper. And you go, oh, you've broken the door down, and there I am naked. Again.
Oh, you've rumbled me, Rick. I wish I'd not told that embarrassing story on the radio. Like it wasn't embarrassing enough, you've just got to make it slightly more seedy.
Oh, so did he get it down?
He did it, yeah, and I got to the World Service with, like, minutes to spare.
Oh.
And interestingly, I told that story to 50 million people around the world.
Joking.
Yeah.
Did they understand?
I think so.
I mean, is that a bit of a problem when you're on the World Service? Like, thinking of things that everyone can understand?
Yes.
Because you can't
It's a bit
just
like
talk
when
about-
talking
Yeah,
to you, Carl.
yeah, exactly, Carl. I think you're on thin ice there, worrying about people understanding what you're saying.
No, but you can't talk about stuff that's on the telly and that, because some people say, well, we haven't even got a telly here.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to XFM 104.9. Play a record. Nirvana, All Apologies on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Well, Steve, I met up with. I know it's forbidden, usually.
I don't know why you
Let
keep
me just
doing it.
explain to the listener. Me and Steve have got a little bit of a pact. We're not allowed to talk to Carl during the week because he comes out with too much dynamite, and we want it to be fresh, and it's just unfair. And if he sees us laughing, he clams up a little bit because he knows something's wrong with his head. So, I was in a pub, and Carl called. He returned a call. I'd called you earlier, and I said, oh, I'm just across the road. Come over. And he came over, and we had a conversation, and I kept saying, no, save it. And I can't remember half the things he was saying, but I do remember one thing he said. He said that the human eye never grows. He said, unlike your ears and nose that keeps growing all your life, he says the human eye never grows. Now, there's a little bit of... It's got big eyes. It's got the same size eyes as it will have.
When
it's
a
never-
baby's born, everyone always goes, oh, look at its eyes, don't they? Because that's like the main feature.
Yes.
They're quite big. They don't grow, they don't get any smaller, they stay the same size.
What you mean, once you become an adult, you've the same sized
No.
eyes?
Soon as you come out of the womb, your eyes, the size they are as a little baby, they stay the same size.
Until
Just
you
like
die.
the sockets.
And I pointed out to him, right, I said, if that was true, Steve Merchant, when he was a baby, with these eyes he's got now, would have looked like a hammerhead shark.
All right, calm down. You don't want to go lay into the eyes.
Do you know what I mean? Just to prove my point.
I didn't laugh when
Good.
he said that.
Respect.
Do you know what I mean, though? Imagine,
I've got the eyes are the windows of the soul, and mine happen to be enormous
French
plate glass windows. Yeah. But nevertheless, they're beautiful.
but-
Many people find them beautiful.
yeah, they're great, yeah, many people do. But,
Do you know they don't have kneecaps either?
My eyes, or
what?
Babies. when they're born, they don't get...
they don't get knees.
Is that true?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
What
also...
are
it
you
might be
talking
true,
about,
it might
Carl?
be
That's,
true.
but isn't it a little bone in? It's part of the.
Well, no, but
the,
all
the leg bone.
you've got lot more bones when you're born than
Yeah, you got
eventually.
300 when you're born, then 205 when you're an adult.
Yeah, they all fuse, don't they?
Do they?
The head's got to be all soft to come out.
Right.
As we said earlier,
I would know. I'm a shark.
Oh!